Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Alice. It's the season of giving, and Santa and his friends could use your help in collecting new, unwrapped toys in hopes of spreading Christmas joy to children in the foster system. For 35 years, Roel Santos has been on a mission.
Everybody deserves to open up a gift on Christmas morning.
He takes on the role of Santa throughout the Coastal Bend, putting smiles on kids' faces.
It's important because some kids, like I said, are left out. Some people will say, well, they'll depend on somebody else, and that somebody else is us.
In the last few years, his mission has grown. He and his friends have organized a toy drive for foster kids. These kids aren't in foster care because of something they did. Rachel Salas is a board member with the Jumeos County Child Welfare Board.
Being in foster care has got to be a very traumatic experience for these kids, and we're looking at kids that are as young as 6 months old and up to the age of 18.
Unfortunately, the number of children in the foster system changes daily.
Providing some cheer to these kids in an otherwise traumatic environment or experience is the least that we can do. We want to do what we can to make their lives a little easier and a little happier.
Santa and his friends hope to collect 100 toys and gift cards.
It can be anything, whatever you wish to give, a coat, sweats. Toys, of course, are the things that make the kids happiest. So whatever your kid would be happy receiving, these kids also are thrilled to be able to get that.
From 8 a.m. till 2 p.m., Santa and his friends will be at the intersection of Highway 44 and South Aransas on Saturday, December 7th, waiting for your contribution. Santa says it's important to help our neighbors because we never know the situation they are in or when it could be us. I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Alice, Chris 6 News.
Good morning. If you're getting ready to head up and out the door, we've got a view for you from our AOC Auto Parts camera. This one in Calallen. The parking lot is dry, but we do have some drizzle coming down for inland neighborhoods at the Coastal Bend. And this is one of the ones that could be seeing some of that drizzle here this morning. So please be careful as you head out. Traffic along Northwest Boulevard looking good. So let's take the wide view of the inland neighborhoods. 281, 77. Looking quite all right. Moving to the north, if you're traveling along 37 through Live Oak County, 181 in San Patricio or B County, or 77 through Refugio County, we are looking good on all those major thoroughfares, so no problems to report. As we come in closer to the bays, 181 is a smooth ride, as is that commute down 37 or in from 44. No trouble to report this morning. Everyone's been on their best traffic behavior. From Ocean Drive down to Saratoga, you won't find any slowdowns. And as we head into the Bluff, the approach to NAS Corpus Christi has been a smooth ride this morning. So as you head out, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. That's a look at your traffic report. I'll be back with your forecast after this.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Hey there, welcome back and happy Friday. Only a few more of those before we get to the big day, Santa's big display. But here's one of his helpers, Miguelito. We've been tracking what our elf on the shelf in the Chris 6 studio has been up to. Looks like he's going for, he's troqueando, going for a little ride on one of our festive little decorations there by the anchor desk. Watch out, Michelle. He's keeping an eye on you. But hey, this is our elf on the shelf. We want to see yours, and there's a place where you can show us. Head on over to our website, or you can scan this QR code right there on your screen. If you choose to go to the website, just go to christv.com, look for the holiday tab, and share your elf. Tell us a little bit about him. We'd love to know more, and kind of give a nod to all of Miguelito's friends who are doing a very hard, difficult job of causing mischief while reporting back to Santa. But you know what? I think we've been good because so far we've gotten the rain that we have much desperately needed. Yes, that's not good grammar, but you know what is good? The rain. We need it. Yesterday, officially only picking up 1/100th of an inch of rainfall at Corpus Christi International Airport. So, all right, that's a drop in the bucket. We could use a lot more than that, right? But this very light drizzle does add up. It is helpful for us, and it's slowly chipping away at our year-to-date rainfall deficit. We are behind, a little shy of 3.5 inches for the year. Now, along with the drizzle has come the gloomy skies. That's limited temperatures. Yesterday, we began at 62, topped out at 63. 67. I told you could count that temperature climb on one hand, and that was the case. Today, a similar situation. It's chilly, and we actually have a little more of that drizzle in the forecast right now. The radar looking pretty busy here, but this is very, very light rainfall. Really qualifies more as drizzle and moisture that's getting picked up by the radar. So if you're heading out, there could be some damp roadways, especially in the Alice area along 181 or along 44 through parts of inland Nueces County. So take it easy. It's not causing any issues out on the roadways from what we can tell, but it is making that gloomy, chilly feeling a bit more amplified today. We are cooler temperature-wise on the order of 5 or more degrees across all of our neighborhoods, so that means we are feeling the chill. If you were on the fence about taking a sweater with you yesterday, I think that decision is made for you today. We're in the 50s with one warm temperature at NAS Corpus Christi in the Bluffs, 61 degrees. So yes, this is sweater weather for sure. And you may want to have a waterproof form of warmth because we're also going to have more of that drizzle in the forecast for today. In fact, your day planner looking like this. We stay in the 50s today, a high of 59 degrees across Corpus Christi, and a windbreaker that's waterproof and warm enough will help because our northeast breeze is going to have a bite in the air today. Wind speeds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Easily going to put a chill in the bones today. But hey, we don't grow very much temperature-wise, but take a look at how the clouds stick around, and we'll see some scattered drizzle and light showers around the area. I do think we'll be okay for tonight's activities. Art walk happening tonight downtown, or the La Posada lighted boat parade out along the island. The rain looks to come back after midnight and will make for a drizzly start on your Saturday morning. The big weather picture shows us not much has changed, but we're waiting on a cold front to bring some change. I'll walk you through when to expect it and how cold will be coming up.
In the midst of all the holiday hustle and bustle this weekend, neighbors will be coming together to remember and honor the 2,403 service members and civilians who were killed at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. Now, this morning, I'll show you how the history from 83 years ago is still being preserved in your neighborhood today.
There's a lot of artifacts in here, and these are precious items that represent the attack that day, and they are on loan from the USS Arizona Memorial.
Fragments of Pearl Harbor's history are anchored at the USS Lexington Museum.
For those who are familiar with ships, this is actually the forecastle. The forecastle is the area on the ship where bosun mates tend the lines, tie up the ship, weigh the anchor, all of those kinds of things. Of course, in an aircraft carrier, it can't be out in the open air like most other ships are, and so it's under the flight deck. But we've turned this area into a Pearl Harbor exhibit.
And in the exhibit on Tour Route 2, the events of the tragedy unfold. Items featured retells the story of the devastating attack.
When Pearl Harbor happened, December 7th, 1941, the country was thrust into World War II. I mean, it was something that really had a lasting effect on this nation and its allies.
The USS Lexington wasn't built during Pearl Harbor, but Steve Banta, the executive director of the museum, tells me the Blue Ghost legacy is tied to that day.
This ship was built, and the other Essex-class carriers that were built during that time to fight in World War II in the Pacific, this ship and the crew members that were on board did their job for their country, and they represent the spirit that came into the nation from the result of the Pearl Harbor attack. And that's something we want to share that history with the public, and we want to make sure people always remember that.
Honoring the history and paying tribute to those who are no longer with us,
Captain Bob Batterson was the last local Pearl Harbor survivor.
The USS Lexington will continue a tradition by hosting a remembrance ceremony this Saturday, the 83rd anniversary of the date that will live in infamy.
Staff does a lot of great work to prepare the ship for this. The volunteer organization that is here on the ship actually prepares, plans, and runs the ceremony. And then we have people from the community that come out and sing the national anthem. We have a local Boy Scout troop that is kind of come and do the color guard.
Now, the ceremony starts at 2 p.m. at the Lexington, and everyone is invited to the free event. There's also another Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day ceremony tomorrow. This one starts at 10 a.m. at the O. Williams Senior Center on 1414 Martin Luther King Drive.
Hey there, good morning, drivers. Getting the view from the CCA Sea Cam out over at Snoopy's. That's where we'll be tonight, having a good time for the La Posada Lighted Boat Parade. But we've got to get through today before we get through tonight. So here's a look at how traffic is doing on the JFK Causeway. But we haven't seen much trouble today. Drive times have been looking good, so it'll take you about 24 minutes to get into downtown from the island. 11 minutes over the Harbor Bridge and 15 minutes for our neighbors coming from Calallen. As you head out, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. That's a look at the traffic report. We'll be back right after this.
And coming up in our 20 minutes of non-stop news, it is Christmas time in the Coastal Bend. We'll take a look at all the holiday fun that's happening in your neighborhood.
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of non-stop news.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. 6:38 is your time. And hey, we're getting a live look from our SPID Sky Cam. Traffic is picking up just a little bit, but the roads seem to be doing pretty nicely. We're going to be checking in with traffic czar and master meteorologist Stephanie Lauber in just a minute. A cool 57 degrees out, so maybe grab your coat if you're just heading out the door. We're going to start off with some neighborhood news.
A former assistant principal at Hamlin Middle School was arrested this week on charges of tampering with physical evidence and official oppression.
It was a tactic to get them to tell us who was hiding the vapes in our school, in our classroom. And so when he admitted to being a part of it, it was never.
He didn't say he admitted to being a part of it.
And the scene.
Now, this was the audio recording between Yvonne Gattaca and Amanda Corona. Gattaca was the mother of a student who was suspended for a vape pen, which Corona allegedly planted in his backpack. The incident occurred in March of last year. Neighborhood News reporter Adam Beam spoke with Gattaca following the arrest, and she tells us the situation rattled her trust in the district.
So now when something happens, I'm not so quick to believe them. I'm like, well, do you have proof? Well, where's the camera? Well, show me proof because I don't believe you. And I hate that. I hate that I have to be like that now.
Now, Chris 6 also reached out to CCISD. In its statement, it said the district acts immediately to investigate any allegations of wrongdoing, and Corona has not been employed with the district since August of last year.
Hey there, good morning to you. The view from our CCAC camera is exciting, but guess what? It's going to be all the more exciting tonight. Hope you'll come out and join us for the La Posada Lighted Boat Parade. If not, we understand it's going to be chilly. You could stay home and watch it right here on Chris 6. But hey, we've got to get through today before we get to tonight. Traffic appears to be moving smoothly along the JFK Causeway, so this is where we'll start with our traffic report. Nothing to report for you out along the island, 361, Parkway 22 and the JFK Causeway, all looking like an easy ride. And that continues into the Bluff. The ride to NAS Corpus Christi is problem-free, speeds up around 25 miles per hour. This stretch of SPID is doing okay, and we're seeing that usual activity picking up on Waldron Road. Flower Bluff Drive also a bit active this morning. Some stop-and-go areas, nothing major to cause problems. Around town, we're looking good from the south side into the Bay Area and downtown. And for our friends who will be coming in along 44 or 37, looks like things are doing okay for now. Travels along 181 also running smoothly. So as you head out, make sure you stay safe and drive safe. That's a look at your traffic report. Your forecast is coming up.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
All right, so Assistant City Manager Neiman Young for the City of Corpus Christi has resigned. Young has been placed on administrative leave by the City Manager Peter Zanoni on November 18th. It's not yet known why Young was placed on administrative leave or why he resigned, but he had been Assistant City Manager since February of 2021. Young oversaw engineering services, public works, solid waste, the airport, gas, and development services. This is a developing story. We'll be sure to update you on air and online as soon as more information becomes available.
Corpus Christi police are currently looking for people involved in last Saturday's shooting on Star Street. CCPD released this video in hopes that the public may be able to help in identifying these persons of interest. Officials say one of these males left in a white Dodge Ram truck. If you have any information, call the number on the bottom of your screen.
And the city of Kingsville will soon have an interim city manager. During Thursday's special meeting, city leaders motioned to approve the appointment of Charles Sosa as interim city manager. Sosa will take over as soon as the current city manager, Mark McLaughlin, leaves on December 20th. We reported last month that current city manager McLaughlin resigned after the city commission voted 3-2 not to offer a new contract and failing to reach an agreement. City leaders also approved the process to hire a search agency for hiring a new city manager.
Honda is recalling more than 200,000 SUVs over potential fuel leak concerns. The recall includes certain 2023 to 2024 Passport and 2023 to 2025 Pilot vehicles. Honda says some of the recalled vehicles may have incomplete connection between the fuel filler neck tube and fuel filler pipe, and this could cause the two components to separate in a crash, allowing fuel to leak. The automaker will be contacting registered owners of all affected models by mail in January.
And the snack wrap is making a comeback. McDonald's announced it will return next year. Not yet known about the price, though. And if you're not familiar, the snack wrap is basically a burrito. It's chicken and in a tortilla wrap, available with various toppings and sauces. No word exactly when next year the fan favorite will return.
And of course, folks, tonight is the night, so be sure to join your Sunrise crew and neighborhood news reporter Aaron Hawley for the 26th annual La Posada Lighted Boat Parade. There will also be special performances by the Seashore Middle Academy's choir and the Flower Bluff High School choir. You can watch it right here on Chris 6 and ChrisTV.com starting at 7.
Hey there, good morning, happy Friday. We are tracking some activity on the radar. It's not a whole lot, but some drizzles in the area, keeping things damp for the Friday morning commute, and it's something we'll likely be dealing with for other parts of your weekend forecast. So we'll get to what's going on the radar right now. Some green showing us those drizzles mainly focused for inland neighborhoods, and if we stop this radar and zoom in a little bit closer, things finally starting to dry out in parts of Jim Wells County, Inland Nueces County, but as we zoom up, a little bit of shower activity in the Three Rivers area near Choke Canyon, which is, if we had to take a pick, exactly where I would put some showers right about now. But again, it's not a whole lot of accumulation. It does help to keep these temperatures cool, and it is feeling chilly when you step out the door. Temperatures in the 50s across the board. We've got one warmer spot. NAS Corpus Christi reporting 61 degrees, 6:45 your time right now. So we won't grow a lot from these temperatures today. That means for the dog walking forecast, maybe you want to take a page out of Olivia's book here, put the Santa hat on or something a little warmer for the walk. All right, for the pups, it's probably not cold enough, but for me, I am definitely a lady of the South, and I like to be warm, and I recommend you at least take a sweater with you when you head out the door. I'm sure your mom would also recommend that. I know mine would as soon as the temperature drops below 70. Let's just be honest here. But as the temperatures continue to progress through today, progress is probably a strong word. We, once again, can count the temperature change on one hand. Very little change. I don't even think we'll make it to 60 degrees today, which is a bit unfortunate considering we'll have a northeast wind, around 20 miles per hour today. That's sustained. The gusts going to be a bit stronger, around 30 miles per hour for a good chunk of today. So that's probably the only thing that will threaten your Friday night plans, is that it's still going to be breezy and cool tonight. We'll have some drizzle in the area, but check it out. I think we'll be okay. The timing should work out. Going through this morning into the afternoon, some drizzle spots and light showers around the area, but nothing major around town until the middle of the afternoon, early evening. Around 6:30, things begin to quiet down, and we don't see those showers come back into the picture until closer to midnight. So I think for the La Posada Lighted Boat Parade or Art Walk tonight, we'll be doing just fine with some more showers for Saturday morning. Now, where's the cold weather, right? The truly cold weather. Well, we're waiting for some of that cooler air to work its way down from the northern tier of the U.S. There are some chilly temperatures up there, but we're looking for the purples you see way up in Canada. However, I do think some of that air will be here late next week. And in terms of our first freeze, we haven't had it yet. On average, that comes around December 23rd, and I think it's going to be sometime next week for those inland neighborhoods. A cold front comes through Tuesday, and that is going to bring our temperatures later next week to the 40s and even the 30s. Brian and Michelle.
Now, the local events and fun things to do. It's Coastal Bend Weekend with the Hoffmans.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go, including in your neighborhood. And you'll also be singing with joy, too, once you hear about all the fun events we have planned for this week's Coastal Bend weekend.
That's right. There's a playlist of possibilities in every neighborhood. So if you're not ready to get into the holiday spirit like Brian is, there is still something fun for you to do. We'll start in the Bay Area.
3, 2, 1! Merry Christmas, Corpus Christi!
Branch out this holiday season to Water's Edge Park for HEB's Christmas tree lighting. But this isn't just your average tree. Standing at 66 feet tall with nearly 6,000 lights and 1,500 ornaments, this monster of a tree will keep spirits high all throughout the season.
But it's not just a tree lighting, it's a whole party. During the event, there will be live entertainment from local artists, guest speakers from city officials, HEB representatives, local vendors, and food trucks.
You can get there as early as 4 p.m. on Saturday. The lighting ceremony starts at 5:30 p.m.
And of course, folks, you should already know by now there's another clause for celebration. Today is the 26th annual La Posada Lighted Boat Parade.
That's right. You can join myself, Michelle, Stephanie Lauber, as well as Aaron Hawley as boats light up the night over on the island.
It starts at 7 p.m. with watch parties at Doc's Seafood and Steaks and Marker 37.
There's also going to be special performances by the Seashore Middle Academy's choir and the Flower Bluff High School choir. You can catch the illuminated fun right here on Chris 6 for a special broadcast.
Also happening today, you should already know by now, the first Friday of every month is Art Walk, right? But in December, it's bringing a holiday edition to your neighborhood.
Downtown businesses will also compete in Mayor Paulette Guajardo's Sparkling Christmas Light Contest. It all starts at 6 today and goes on until 10 p.m.
Another big party is happening in your neighborhood this weekend. You can join in on celebrating a half a century of efforts to educate the Coastal Bend about Asia's unique features.
That's right. The Texas State Museum is having its 50th anniversary celebration Sunday at noon, and you're invited.
And you might recall I